Hey everyone, it's Justin. Thank you for watching and or listening to the podcast, and welcome to my house. It is time, it is long overdue time for another ServiceNow Store highlights episode. That's version 2025-0220, February 20th. Our last highlights episode was on January 27th. After that episode, ServiceNow released their Yokohama early access and the first store release. And they're basically, over the 3 episodes that we didn't publish, more than 1,000 applications. Oh my gosh. So ServiceNow's applications and third-party applications. And it was a lot. This is probably the hardest I've worked on an SSH episode since I started doing them. But let's see what that breakdown is. Remember, this includes both ServiceNow and third-party, but it's mostly ServiceNow, contributing like over 900 applications. But we have 247 compatibility updates to Yokohama, of course, 200 fixes, 10 ghost applications, that's 10 applications that left the ServiceNow store, 93 highlights, 375 minor updates. So about these minor updates and the compatibility updates, with these releases from ServiceNow, if there is not a lot of information or a lot of detail, or it says like NA or something or nothing, I'll kind of mark that as a compatibility update, knowing that they're versioning these apps to be compatible with Yokohama. Now, if it's a minor update, that's just there's little small changes or a fix or just small little stuff. It's a minor update. So that's kind of how I did that there. There are 91 new releases, and 13 release notes fails. So let's see how this broke down. I'm going to flip over to the actual episode here. And what I've got on here right now is a filter to show non-ServiceNow applications. You can even see my filter. I said does not contain Service-Now, which is the company that they use, service-now.com. So over the past 3 episodes, for third-party applications, that means 5 compatibility updates, 4 fixes, 5 ghost applications, 10 highlights, 56 minor updates, 17 new releases, and 11 release notes fails. The compatibility updates were from Campus Wellbeing, Education Operations Institutus, Integrate Box and Box Sign with UI Elements and Spoke, Kanji and Safe TPRM Connector. That was compatibility. The fixes, 1E Core, Acronis Cyber Protect Cloud Services, Tanium Live UI, and Tenon Marketing Automate Email Spoke. The ghost applications that disappeared from the store are EY Supply Chain ESG Data Monitor, EY Qualtrics and ServiceNow Intuitive Service Desk, Fujitsu ESG Consulting Service, NTT Data Enterprise DX Platform for ESG, and Rangu Supply Chain Risk. Now let's just make sure, since it's been like 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks, make sure these are all still ghost applications. And on the 4th one here, it is gone, and on the 5th one here, it is gone. So those are all still validly ghost applications. There were 56 minor updates. I'm not going to read the 56 to you. These will be posted on my blog at justin.house. All of this will. I'm going to do my normal blog post with these links for the non-ServiceNow apps, and then I'll include a spreadsheet that you can download to see all the ServiceNow stuff, just because there's so many of them. Trying to copy and paste that all to a web page is a pain. So 56 minor updates. There were unfortunately 11 release notes fails that piled up in that 3 weeks. BT Digital Services CMDB Sync, BT Digital Services IM and SRM, Computer Center Service Desk Integration, Integration Framework, List Filter Component Tenon, Preview Component Tenon, Process X, Tag Generator, Talk Desk, Tenon Marketing Automation, and Tenon Marketing Work Management. Release notes fails, just I can't tell you what changed or what's new with the app because they didn't have good release notes. So that brings us to the highlights for the third-party applications. First up on the list is going to be CDW Smart Tracker Spoke. Get easy to configure, no code required visibility of all your Cisco assets and contracts. The key features: provides an interface to the CDW Smart Tracker Web API to access metadata about assets, sites, contracts, and tickets directly from the CDW Smart Tracker. Contains flow designer actions and subflows that cover every available Smart Tracker API call. And that's what's new from the team at CDW Logistics LLC US. Our second new application is from the team at Tenon. It's Content Viewer Component, a custom component for content viewing in Tenon Marketing Automation. That's all we'll cover on that one. It's just a little component as part of their bigger application. Next up is Crow PCI Compliance Accelerator. The Crow PCI Compliance Accelerator application, leveraging the existing ServiceNow integrated risk management solution, manages a PCI compliance program by facilitating an end-to-end assessment lifecycle, enabling comprehensive PCI control testing, and streamlining PCI control evidence gathering, thereby ensuring robust and continuous compliance with PCI DSS requirements. Key features for this new application include identify control gaps and compliance risk, ability to templatize test procedures and evidence expectations for each control objective, detailed tracking of assessment results across all PCI DSS domains, automated creation of control tests and task and evidence collection tasks, detailed component level compliance tracking, role-based access control system, and centralized evidence repository. And that's what's new for the team at Crow LLP. Next up is Email Eclipse. It simplifies and streamlines email creation, delivering dynamic, branded, and consistent communications effortlessly. Let's check out those key features. Simplify email creation with pre-built templates and branding management, reusability and consistency, pre-built templates, branding and style management, dynamic content blocks, personalization and targeting with the dynamic content blocks, conditional logic, and ServiceNow integration, improved engagement with responsive design, personalized content and performance tracking, and cost effectiveness using pre-built templates, responsive design, automated workflows, and performance tracking. And that's what's new from Hatchet Studios Pty Ltd. Next up is Firefly Connector. Bridging clouds, streamlining compliance. Let's check out the key features for this one. It's used to integrate Firefly with a ServiceNow to populate the CMDB. Secure API integration for periodic data synchronization. Multi-cloud asset tracking for AWS, Azure, and GCP or Google Cloud. Tables for cloud inventory and governance insights. Import sets and transform maps for seamless integration. Compliance monitoring and error handling. And scalable, user-friendly design for evolving needs. And that's what's new for the team at Work4Flow. Next up is FMDB for Enterprise Architecture, Precision TCO or Total Cost of Ownership Insights driving smarter enterprise decisions. Key features, seamless on-platform integration between the NICUS, FMDB, and Enterprise Architecture. Gain insights into the cost of applications across your portfolio in detail with a breakdown of cost types, license, hosting, labor, etc., and standard cost model driven by actual spend from General Ledger supplied by Finance. That's what's new for the team at NICUS Software Inc. Next up is Fujitsu Service Ops Launchpad. Implements ServiceNow ITSM and ITOM capabilities with support. I'll call your attention that this is not an application you buy. This looks like something that takes you to Fujitsu services for professional services. But let's take a look at the functional and technical features. On the functional side, rapid deployment of core ITSM and ITOM, sector-specific customization, post-go-live hypercare support. On the technical side, core ITSM and ITOM integration with SSO, LDAP, and event management, pre-configured notifications, predefined best practice, and automated workflow. And that's what's new from the team at Fujitsu Services Limited. Next up is Gen AI Assessment, automating assessment for Now Assist readiness. Key features. It's quite a list of key features. Let's see if I can summarize here. Issue categorization, summarization, Now Assist in AI search, Now Assist in ITSM, Now Assist in virtual agent, and Now Assist in CSM. So it's basically assessing how you've implemented and what's in those tables and in those applications to assess your readiness from the team at Work4Flow. Next up is Genesis External Routing. Genesis and ServiceNow unified, elevate agent interactions, enhance customer experience. Key features for this one, agent presence sync between ServiceNow and Genesis Cloud, work item assignment using Genesis Cloud routing, and work item state sync between ServiceNow and Genesis Cloud. And that's what's new from Genesis Cloud Services. Next up, Intune Connector Premium. The Intune connector is designed to integrate Microsoft Intune with the ServiceNow platform, allowing customers to automatically synchronize computer and software information from Intune into the ServiceNow CMDB. This premium version offers unlimited device support with the first 1,000 devices at just 1 cent per device per month. Let's check out the key features. Automated data sync between Intune and ServiceNow CMDB, cost-effective and easy to implement solution, and standard ITSM subscription compatibility. And that's what's new from Advanced Service Provider SaaSAP. Next up, the Kyndryl integration VMware ARIA Realize or vRealize. Let's see, key features, Kindle integration. VMware ARIA vRealize is an application that automates the fulfillment of catalog requests via change task using VMware ARIA automation. It can be used to automatically send requests to vRealize to run workflows based on the inputs from a catalog item, and the application includes the flow actions. Script includes scripted REST endpoints necessary to integrate your ServiceNow instance to VMware ARIA vRealize. And that's what's new from the team at Kyndryl Inc. Up next, Platformation, ready for Gen AI, empowers businesses with AI-driven ServiceNow solutions and support. Key features on the functional side, assessment report, roadmap report, training and communication materials, governance and operating model, process descriptions, KPI value measurements, and technical design documentations. On the technical side, Now Assist AI suite applications, App Engine, Automation Engine, and AI on core services and analytics, service catalog, service level management, CSDM, CMDB. And I'll call your attention again to this is not an application that you buy. It looks like it again is professional services being hosted in the ServiceNow store. The next new app is also from Tenon, Preview Component Tenon, and it's their preview component, and we'll leave that there as part of their marketing and automation application. Next up is Safe IRM Connector, Unified Cyber Risk Quantification and Management. Key features, fetch groups from Safe1, link ServiceNow entity or a risk to a safe group, and fetch the associated risk scenarios from Safe1 and store them as downstream risks of the entity or the risk. And that's what's new from Safe Securities Inc. Next up, Stores 360 from ServiceNow and Thirdera. Stores 360 unifies ecosystems, streamlining operations and enhancing productivity and experience. Note again, this is one of those learn more, so you can be contacted by Thirdera, I guess. Key features on the functional side, Store mobile app and portal for knowledge, self-help, case creation, and end-to-end visibility. Store installed items used for cases and work orders. Full business hierarchy enables end-to-end visibility across stores, regions, and corporate. On the technical side, self-healing through ITOM event management and EIOT integration and automation. Automated work order and dispatch assignment, and recommended playbooks, next actions, work order templates, and similar actions via Now Assist. And that's what's new from Cognizant Technology Solutions US Corporation. Our second to last new release is vBrick AI Search Connector. Let's check out the key features. It is an application that utilizes a connection between vBrick Video and ServiceNow to deliver video content within ServiceNow's portal search. By utilizing ServiceNow's query capabilities, users can quickly find and play vBrick videos directly from ServiceNow's AI-enhanced portal search. Our last new application is Workplace Health and Safety Localization. Increase organizational compliance, reduce risk, and promote a safer workplace environment. Key features, region-based incident management, agent and end-user guidance, notifiable incident reporting, SLAs for high-priority incidents, regional reporting, and proactive management of psychosocial hazards. And that's what's new from the team at TM Labs, and that was all of our new releases, all 17 of them. So we have left for this episode the highlights. Let's check out what I thought was worth highlighting to you for these updated applications. First up is Chronicle for Security Incident Response, updated to version 2.1.0, and in this version, support for dynamic field mapping and a new user experience for incident configuration. And they're calling this a major release, so I thought I'd highlight it. Next up is Clear Sky IGA, updated to version 5.2.0, and in this version, streamline deployments, no release helps customers to, no, that's not what I want to read. I want to read just below that. New transfer policies on authoritative accounts, inclusion of both environmental or application-based roles and requests and removal actions, policy-based account type policies for users with both regular and administrative accounts, improved functionality in Workday and Oracle Fusion HRIS connections or connectors, hard-coded UI text now easily centralized for translation, improved access reviews including new automated test and reassign review, improved approval policies, including flexibility over child requests and scriptable approval policies, and new connections from Microsoft Teams, Zoom, and Slack. Good update there. Next up is going to be Data Content Manager. It was updated to version 6.1.0. And this release focuses on data quality, workspace improvements, and introduces a new way to commit data changes using the DQ workspace. In addition, many minor enhancements and bug fixes are included following the R6 release. This release aims to improve the overall functionality and user experience of the data quality workspace and the DCM application. Next up is Defender Machine Identity Protection, updated to version 8.0. And in this version, the key enhancements were multi-TLS environment support, enhanced change management integration, unified certificate import experience, and Venafi workflow enhancements. I don't know what that word is. There were also a couple of bug fixes that you may want to check out for that application as well. Next up is Global Link Enterprise, updated to version 5.0.0, and in this version they added support for webhooks, improved technical tracking of the submission, improvements in the submission wizard, migration to the Global Link Enterprise REST API, support for rich text columns for variables was added, and some critical bug fixes. Next up is Health 360 Degrees, updated to version 11.4.1. In this version, 4 new features: Health Center, all new Health Center providing a newly designed, clean, and unified location to manage platform health. Health Assessments, run automated instance assessments and generate a complete PDF reports. Includes support for manual consultant-driven and white-labeled partner assessments. Learning Hub, Health Center page providing useful links to best practice information. Naming conventions, apply naming structure to update sets. Create custom suite from a scan result. Create a suite with checks with the top 20 most findings. Mute all information findings. Quickly mute all findings and scan with action level of information. Mute all discuss findings. Quickly mute all findings and scan with action level of discuss. And workspace modes. Choose between full scan and custom mode depending on your requirements to adapt to the workspace to your configuration. It also includes some enhancements: apply Health 360 view to mute rule table to show more relevant information, added document template dependency, and added document viewer dependency. And I think, is that everything? 11.4, it looks like there might be a little bit more. Adds additional support for older instances to improve scan performance, improves filter conditions on proactive warnings to improve performance, and fixes visual bug on Health Center where instance name was not being populated correctly. All right, next up is Heat something, Hexaware Platform Inspector, updated version 2.0.2, and in this one they have a new workspace along with support for the Yokohama release. I figured a workspace was a pretty big deal, and they're calling it a major release. Next up is the Intune connector. It was updated to version 2.0.0, and I feel like we just read this one, but key features, let's see, designed to Microsoft, let's see. Yeah, this is not a new application. So key features, prerequisites. I just want to make sure I'm not rereading a bunch of stuff. This version was withdrawn on January 31st. Limitations, target audience, installation instructions. Version 2 is designed to integrate Microsoft Intune with the ServiceNow platform, allowing customers to automatically synchronize computer and software information from Intune into the ServiceNow CMDB. It streamlines IT asset management and ensures accurate, up-to-date device information is reflected in ServiceNow. And there's a bunch of key features listed there that were listed in the last release from this in November of 2024, it looks like. All right, next highlight is Platcore LMS. It was updated to version 3.7.006, and in this version, they have now Xanadu support, new course player interface, new simplified quiz player interface, new feature for managing courses or course/language equivalencies in Course Builder, enhanced accessibility, 508 compliance updates to course plan quiz builders, and updated Thai, French, Italian, French, Canadian, German, Finnish, Korean translations, and various bug fixes and UI improvements. All right, let's go on to the next, or the last one. T-Systems Connector was updated to version 2.2.331, and this one, lots of stuff going on. I'm going to try to read them. T-Systems Connector app fixed the ServiceNow findings for encoded query. Enhancement for process controls. It must be ensured that only one entry per process and company is possible. Added the record and module access policy for KMF, review and enhance the export connector logs and configuration catalog item, performance improvements for catalog export connector logs and configuration, add new columns in import sheet and table. Let's scroll down, we got some more here. In CHM to CHM, possibility to turn off the validation. Validate also on change level if there's at least one valid task when going into assess. Special characters and tasks weren't working. New fields for process modules in the connector properties in customer ID table. Bond record link is missing in bonded attachment records. INM ownership, when retry fails, the ownership shall be reset. Let's keep going. Fix for handling languages on state mapping on hold reason field. SC3B connector on customer side answers not as expected within a namespace error, and unnecessary work log updates form request is added in the work note when incident is created. So basically a few enhancements and a couple of fixes. They called it a minor release, but I thought it was worth highlighting all the good documentation from the team at T-Systems International GmbH. And that's normally where our episode would end, but this is a special episode, everybody. So let's take a look at where it does contain the company ServiceNow. How did that break down? Well, those numbers are 242 compatibility updates, 196 fixes, 5 ghost applications, 83 highlights, 319 minor updates, 74 new releases, and 2 release notes fails. I want to go ahead and just show the 5 ghost applications since that seems achievable. External Legal Service Center is in there twice for some reason. Not sure why. Foundation Data Sync for consumers, and Foundation Data Sync for providers. Let's go make sure these are all still missing from the store. There was 1, that was 2. Looks like number 3 is also missing. Number 4 and number 5. Yes, they're all still ghost applications, meaning they've been removed from the store. Now, I can't cover the rest of this like we normally would. It's just too much for me to talk about and too much to look at. But I did, however, pull some interesting ones that I thought were worth highlighting. You may have heard me talk about this in a little update video I gave, but let's take a look at the first one on my list. It's collaborative work management, the collaborative work management application from ServiceNow. Let's just open this store URL and pop out and see what is new with this application that I thought was worth highlighting and that I'm really interested in. First up, requesting access to a space or board from its URL. CWM users can quickly request access to a space or a board through a request access button. Requesting to elevate user access to role for editor. Managing access in the shared permissions modal. Let's see, managing space permissions for task assignees and other users, share task details with task URLs, and real-time collaboration in docs. UI changes, numbering on automation cards. Instead of record numbers, board automation cards show a sequential list numbering of 1, 2, 3, and so on. Changed in this release, improved user experience for board views, improved user experience for copying links of boards, and redirection to the CWM task from notification emails. So I'm excited to get in there and play with collaborative work management when I have time to open that one. All right, back to my list here. Next up is the GRC Business Impact Analysis version 8.0.3. Let's open that URL and see why I found this interesting. I have a feeling it's going to do with smart assessments. Yes, integrated business impact analysis with smart assessment engine. BIA can use either smart assessment engine or legacy impact analysis questionnaire for analysis, and BIA.pdf updated with new fields from smart assessment engine and added new field to capture maximum tolerable period of disruption. Can't wait to get in there and play with those smart assessments. Let's see, next up, oh, I clicked the wrong button. Let's see, go back to my list view here. Oh good, it still has everything like I want it. Next up is GRC Compliance Case Management version 20.0.1. And in this version, what was the updates? Empower compliance professionals to perform assessments on compliance cases using the Smart Assessment Engine. Utilize the unified tasks page on Employee Center to complete your assessments. And they fixed localization and other functional issues in the application. All right, next special selection from Justin, I guess we can call it, is GRC Compliance Workspace version 20.0.2. We'll open the store application and take a look at those release notes. Here they are. Change control attestations using smart assessments. I'm really interested in this because the attestations were kind of like wah wah, and using smart assessments, I'm hoping it's just like a more modern and more intuitive user experience. So that's, again, I highlighted this or specially selected it because I'm interested in testing it, maybe even making a video on it. Next up, this is still going to be assessment related. It's Hardware Asset Management version 12.1.0. And so enough of GRC or Integrated Risk Management. Hardware Asset Management is going to use the new asset attestation. It doesn't say it here on the screen, but it is using the new Smart Assessment application in order to do those attestations. So again, I'm interested in that. All right, well, enough of those attestations. Next up is going to be Microsoft Azure DevOps Board Spoke version 2.0, or no, 2.0.0. And this one I highlighted because they've completely refactored the entire spoke. So authentication template to set up the spoke with OAuth 2.0, API version set as 7.1, and added new actions with new design pattern. Use connection and credential alias, enabled retry policy, and enhanced error handling, and complex outputs. I'm not going to read all of them to you, but you can see all of the different spoke actions for core process management and work item management were kind of refactored, and then they removed or deprecated the equivalent over in core process management and work item management. So my thing here is now I want to go play with Azure DevOps connection to ServiceNow again and see how it behaves differently, if it behaves differently at all. All right, next special selection from Justin here is going to be the Omni Experience Standard Feature Set version 6.1.5, and I honestly don't even remember why I specially selected this one, so let's take a look at the release notes. This version includes the following new features for sidebar: ability to create private discussions, ability to create discussions not associated with a record, and native integration with Slack. I'm definitely interested in sidebar, but I think I probably did it for this native integration with Slack. I'm interested in what that experience is like when integrating with a third-party chat application like Slack. All right, next up, Service Operations Workspace ITSM Applications version 7.0.0 was another special selection from the Yokohama Store Release 1. Let's see what was special. Enhancements to incident and interaction management to improve agent productivity and streamline resolution. Enhancements to problem management, support for my approvals for change requests. Approvals similar to UI 16 in SOW or Service Operations Workspace, enhancements to the Admin Center, support for DEX as a communications channel and major incident management, enhancements to the mobile agent, support for Slack and Sidebar, enhancements to CAB Workbench approvals for change management, and enhancements to enable Now Assist for change management. I am interested in all of that except for Now Assist because I can't touch Now Assist, but all the rest of it looks interesting, and I'd love to see what that looks like in an instance. Next up, the ServiceNow IDE. I specially selected this even though I don't really use the IDE. I've been trying to use the IDE, but I just don't have time to sit there and code, but I am interested in how it's evolving and developing. So let's see what's new in Yokohama. Convert existing scoped applications to develop them in source code from the ServiceNow IDE. Use NPM packages from private registries as third-party libraries. That actually sounds really interesting. And use TypeScript and JavaScript modules, and they fixed by providing general stability and performance improvements in this version of the application. All right, let's see what the next special selection is. SN Docs version 6.0.0. This is one of those hidden apps that you really don't install. It gets installed as a dependency, typically, but I saw something interesting, so I wanted to highlight it for you. They fixed some minor defects, but also real-time collaboration in docs. Multiple editors can now edit a doc page, improving the team collaboration, live presence of editors with colored cursors, and ability to hide/show the live presence of editors. Yeah, that does sound interesting to me. I'd love to play with that and see how much like it's a Word document experience. Next up is another hidden application, SN FSM Components version set 27.0.8. Let's take a look at why. I think this is a Word doc authoring too, but oh wow, there's a lot. We have improved overall dispatcher workspace performance, introduced a new data model to store schedules and personal events for agents, crews, and equipment, added empty state for dispatcher workspace that loads the workspace with a blank slate if no default group/territories are selected, added multiple accessibility enhancements, added feature to show real-time markers of agents on dispatcher workspace map, added advanced resource filter capability, added ability to show completed route view for day view, added various error handling mechanisms, added changes for task dependency, added additional manager support for workforce, and added schedule optimization related enhancements. Whew, that is a lot going on in the ServiceNow field service management application components. So I thought that was worth calling out. And my last one that I identified once I got to the W's, because it took a while to get to the W's in a list of over 1,000 new or updated applications. Let's take a look at what's new framework core version 1.1.0. Now, if you haven't heard about this, find out the latest features of the ServiceNow products you use. It pushes content about the latest features of the products periodically, allowing practitioners to view information about the new features without the need to go through the release notes. So I'm very interested in this as a guy who goes through all the release notes. What's new is now supported on classic pages. With this release, users will be able to view what's new content, subject to content availability, for those application areas/pages. There's also 2 fixes: issues preventing the notifications for what's new content availability on question icon, and incorrect availability information present in the available tag for each feature. In fact, I think when I get done recording, I'm going to go see if I can install this app right away in my PDI. But hey everybody, that is our entire episode for this special Yokohama episode. Let's just recap including both ServiceNow and third-party applications. For this episode, we had 91 new releases, 93 highlights, 247 compatibility updates, 375 minor updates, 10 ghost applications, 200 fixes, and 13 release notes fails. Now don't forget, all of these applications with links to the ServiceNow store are going to be on my blog. The third-party applications will be listed out like normal, and then the entire list of 1,029 or 28, because I think I had a duplicate in there, will be there as a spreadsheet that you can download, share with your team, go find the stuff that's interesting to you, filtering and sorting on my categories that I put on these. I hope you found this video or podcast helpful. If you did, please like, please subscribe, or share it with somebody who you think might be interested in what's new, what was updated, and what was removed from the ServiceNow store. And until next time, don't forget to always be learning.